Hey guys, so this is going to be a pretty quick tutorial on how I made this like weird orb sphere thing that I posted to Reddit the other day. I got a question from Belly Mar. I think I'm saying your name right. Sorry, dude. He asked how I got these little curvy dudes on the edges, and I think he's referring to these guys. So it's pretty simple. I'm just going to run through that really quickly, or as quick as I can. So if I add a sphere, everything is based off of this original sphere shape. I'm going to do quick shading so you can see the lines. And first thing you want to do is add a bunch of segments to get a cleaner, smoother geometry on those curves. I think 70 should be fine. And if I open the original shape, you can see it's kind of hard to tell, but it's got a tapered top. And as it curves around the sphere, it gets a little wider, and then you can't see it, but on the other side, it tapers back again. And that's basically using a selection from this sphere here. So just make the sphere editable and come in here and just kind of draw that basic shape. Now, I suck at modeling, so if anyone has suggestions on how to do this better or more efficiently, please message me, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing ever. But I'm just going to get that kind of going there. I think I want this to be even, just because. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 4 rings of separation from the center on the bottom. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So cool. So this thing is totally symmetrical, and that's the basic shape we're going to work off of. So if I right click and I go to split, what that does, if I deselect everything, you can see it gives us 2 objects. One of them is that weird banana crescent shape. I don't know what the hell to call that. But then you have also the original sphere. So I'm just going to delete that original sphere for now because I don't need it. And we're going to work off of this. So if I select all the polygons here, and it's just a flat plane right now, I want to give it some depth. If I right click and I go to extrude, I can click this, drag it out a little bit just to make it a little thick. If you're getting this thing where your shape is hollow and not filling in, all you got to do is come down here and click create caps. And so that gives us a nice filled in piece of geometry we can work from. So I think I just added this to a cloner object and set that to radial. Yeah, cool. So you can already see we're getting a little closer to that final shape. I think I had 4 petals. Yeah, so there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 of these white guys are on the edge. So I'm going to make that 4, and I think I also had the radius down at 0 to begin with. Yeah, that looks right. So from here, basically everything was playing with these rotation segments here. Getting that kind of set up exactly how I did it before is a little challenging. I can't remember exactly. I think I had these set, both of these were set to 90, and then I just did a rotation of this last guy. Yeah, that's getting us really close. I think what will help is if I add a sphere back in. Actually, you can see how it's mapping to that sphere. I'm going to scale that down just a little bit. So yeah, that's pretty much the basic setup. Like I said, getting this exactly how I had it before is a little confusing because it was an hour's worth of playing and trial and error, so I'm not sure exactly what I did. I think I also applied, here, let me get this set up a little bit more. Yeah, this was definitely a lot higher. I think I also had the B setting was higher. I think I also had on the Y section, I moved this around a little bit to get some separation of the petals themselves. I think a twist deformer was also applied so that you could have it bend around a little bit. So I just added, real quick, I'm going to start over. That was probably a little too fast. I just added a twist deformer and made it a child of that crescent shape. And then I click fit to parent and started messing with this angle. So yeah, that gives me the ability to sort of manipulate the geometry so they're not intersecting. So right around here is kind of the main area I want to play with. So once I adjust it so that they're not overlapping and crossing into each other, then I can go back and I can mess with the cloner object's rotation angle to get it set up kind of how I want it. Like I said, very difficult to recreate exactly, but that gets you going pretty close. From here, you can scale the cloner object up or down as needed. I'm going to get that a little smaller, mess with this angle a little bit again, just kind of get those warped out, but just get them rotating. And I think that's about as close as I'm going to be able to make it to what I originally had. I guess the next thing would be to create this center part, which is really easy. All I did was I created a cylinder and I had that facing the Z-axis, so you can see it's piercing through that sphere now. And I just added both of these to a bool object. Sorry if I'm going pretty fast here, but you can slow this down. I'm going to switch those. So yeah, now you can see I have this bool object with this cylinder piercing right through the sphere. And I just dropped another sphere in there that I scaled down. And 99% of the cool features that you see on this guy are just reflections, right? So I just added a shiny texture to this sphere. I created this pentagon vortex tunnel thing, and almost all of the look of this comes from reflecting off of that scene in the background. I could teach you how to do that, but it's a total fucking cop-out. I just stole directly from Grayscale Gorilla's texture kit and their light kit to make that look really pretty, and use the physical renderer to get that like really realistic look to it. And dude, I'm more than happy to provide scene files for you. I'm more than happy to go into a more detailed tutorial on that, but I think that's kind of what you wanted to learn how to do. And that's pretty much it. You can add, if you don't like these hard lined edges, you can, on the original pedal shape, you can add a, what's it called? Used to be called a, something NURBS. Wow, my memory's failing me, but you can add it to a subdivision surface. So I'm just going to drop that in the cloner and then add that sphere as a child of that. And that gives you these nice rounded edges here. So your geometry is looking a lot cleaner that way. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. If you want more detail, like I said, message me. I would love to work with you one-on-one to kind of get you going on how to set this up more with lighting and see, like background textures and things like that. But I think that should do it for now. Yeah, cool. Good luck, man. Play around, have fun. That's all I did.